of the world's most...
Lots of things.
It's one of the world's most popular children's books, and since its publication, The Gruffalo has been adapted into a film, a theatre show, and even a roller coaster.
You'll like this bit, by the way. Now, its publishers have teamed up with the charity Guide Dogs to create a totally new adaptation, Smells. It's hoped the idea will help visually impaired children to connect with picture books in a new way. Shall we get a sense of what it's like, eh? Anyone?
A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood.
Daddy, this is mouse.
Okay, let's have a look.
Then will a
Have a
mouse
smell.
jump out of it?
Have a smell.
What a smell. Sniffy.
A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good.
Smells kind of like smoky.
Sort of smells a bit like woodland, I think.
Yeah, woodland.
We're joined now by Kirsty Bauer from the charity Guide Dogs and Josie and her dad Roger, who we saw testing out the Gruffalo-inspired smells in that clip. Roger, tell us about what it was like and how did it go down?
We had a lot of fun, didn't we, Josie? There was Mummy and myself and Josie and her fully sighted brother Wolf, and we thought it was a very unique way of reading a book and sharing a book. And it was a book that we know quite well, so it was a novel experience to be smelling some of the animals as well.
Josie, I mean, top question here. What does the Gruffalo smell like?
I knew you would ask me this.
And?
You.
Oh, right.
OK, so what does...
Days.
Oh, it's lovely. Tell us about the other smells. Were there some nicer smells in the book?
Yes. There were. An owl with all of our favourites. It smells kind of like sweets and like cupcakes.
Oh, lovely.
And Josie, did it help you to sort of get into the story a little more?
Yeah.
And
yes,
Roger,
it did.
and Roger, how did that, in terms of your watching Josie understand the story and you know, use all her senses to fully get a grasp of what the Gruffalo is all about, how did that impact you as a parent?
I think it was quite moving, to be honest. Josie talked about her imagination and what she thought the Gruffalo was like and how the smell probably changed what she thought it looked like. And the experience was a bit like a level playing field in terms of my son gets a different experience looking at the pictures, and Josie will look at the pictures, but she might be sort of looking sideways or closing her eyes. So having the smells really engaged both of them at the same time in the same way. And it's still something they talk about every day.
Oh, it sounds like such a lovely idea. Kirsty, just tell us a little bit about it, because I know Guide Dogs is trying to make reading much more inclusive for children with sight loss. Is this the first step, and how important is this?
This is really important. I mean, this is a world first for the Gruffalo, and our aim is to create reading that's truly inclusive. And we want to see how this rolls out. You know, this is a first for us at Guide Dogs. And the aim of the pack is to not only create truly inclusive reading, but also to raise awareness of our children's services.
And Kirsty, how do you... I mean, Josie says the Gruffalo smells of poo. How do you decide what the various characters smell like? Who's on that smell group, if you like?
Yeah, that's a great description. Thank you for that, Josie. That's wonderful. The smells are actually created with our service users, which I think is really, really important. So we worked with them and we co-produced the smells, and they told us what they thought the characters smelled like. So the scents were created from that.
I think it's such a lovely way of doing this. So, Kirsty, who can get hold of these kits? Are there lots of them, and will you sort of expand it, do you think?
Well, watch this space in terms of expanding it. We hope it's going to be really successful. There are 150 scent kits that have been created, and parents with a child with sight loss can get in touch with our social media channels, so that's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and simply tell us why their child loves the Gruffalo and why they should win, and just simply tag @GuideDogsUK into that. That's how they can win one. And we'll be giving some away to our service users as well.
OK, well, we've seen how much Josie's involved. Josie, just come back to you. What is your favourite book, or do you have a sort of favourite series that you would like to get the sort of smell treatment?
Well, I thought maybe the more Julia Donaldson books, because she's like a famous author, and then like people might know the books, and then the smells. What would be the monster in the tiger who comes to tea, and things like that.
Great idea.
That would be a wonderful book. And Roger, I mean, would you like to see this done for other books as well?
I think it'd be fantastic. Yeah, it would be. Again, I think even if you're very familiar with a book and the story, adding in different scents just creates a totally different experience. And we spent a long time discussing and comparing. And again, I think that word inclusive is very important. And it was just a very fun experience for us all.
Oh, it sounds really fun. Roger, thank you very much. Josie, thank you very much indeed as well. Kirsty too. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
It's a brilliant idea, that, isn't it? Imagine.
Thanks.
Nice to talk to you. Imagine like the BFG, we could find out what a snoscumber looks like. You have to imagine these things, but if you can actually smell it, make a huge difference.